Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Etho, and we're back again with another episode in our Let's Play world. It's been a bit of time. Took a little break from it. Hopefully, you're not mad at me. Just disappointed, right? Yeah, no, we're finally back. It's a little weird having two series that are so similar to each other. Like, we got this and we got Hermitcraft, right? In the past, it was Minecraft as well. It's like I would always alternate one episode of Minecraft, one episode of the LP, one episode of Minecraft, one episode of the LP. And then it switched to Hermitcraft doing that. And then over time, I kind of got a little bit more lenient. It's like, okay, maybe two LPs, one Hermitcraft, or the other way around. And then it was like 3-1. And then, yeah, it's been 4-1 now. Which, I don't know if I've ever done that before. I think at this point, we've established this world's not going anywhere. Hopefully, you're not panicking. Oh, he's giving up on it. No. Just want to focus on the hype of Hermitcraft. You know, it's really fun starting out in a new world. And a lot of times, when I did alternate in the past, I would miss a lot of the beginning game stuff. And I'd fall behind the other hermits. It would kind of ruin the experience a little bit for me. So this time, I wanted to just do what I wanted to do. To be frank with you, though, I have been trying to figure out what are the key differences between Hermitcraft and this series. Like, I need to decide what projects to do there versus here. Obviously, Hermitcraft is a group-based series, so that makes it a little better suited to things like prank ideas, mini games. We got the Spear update recently, so obviously I can PvP someone over there and actually test it more thoroughly. While the LP world here, it's more of a longer-term series, right? So big projects, crazy ideas. You think of like our endless storage room. I would never build that on Hermitcraft. It's just like way too ambitious for a 1 or 2 year series, right? The other thing I realized though is like Hermitcraft has access to a few mods like Flashback, we got Free Cam, and that makes it a little more suited to a faster paced editing style. And also it usually attracts more new viewers. So because of that, I try to keep the projects a little bit more straightforward. Not so much in depth, and it's more about getting a lot of stuff done quickly. While here, I do like to go into depth. I think we should focus more on like research or experimental ideas more so here, and actually go into like how stuff works. And speaking of that, I was trying to design some player launcher stuff for our Hermitcraft base the other day in creative, and I was having so much fun with it. So I think first, let me show you what this thing does, and then we'll work backwards on how it actually works. So check this out. Isn't that cool? That was a baby charge. Trust me, we could go a lot higher than this. So this device is what's often referred to as a wind charge generator, or at least the ones with the breezes are called that. Like, there's two ways of doing this. You can get a breeze from a trial chamber, you bring it over, you keep them in a minecart, you have them shoot at like an iron golem or something, and you try to catch the wind charges he shoots. Is one way of doing it, and you get them for free that way. Another way is just to put wind charges in a dispenser, which is a lot easier. And that's what I'm doing here. Wind charge condenser might be a better name for this. Anyways, I designed my very own one here, this device I made, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. A lot of these get very big and complicated, and they always kind of scared me. And it turns out they don't have to be. They can actually be pretty simple. So all this is we got 32 charges loaded in here. There's a clock that runs at the top here. It shoots the wind charges through the cobweb, which slows them down just a little bit, so that when they travel 4 blocks, this piston is able to perfectly catch it on its retraction. So pistons can stop a wind charge on extension or retraction as long as it's timed right. And once you stop them, because they don't have gravity or anything, they just kind of get frozen in place, and like you can walk through them and they won't interact. It's not until they actually start moving again that they will collide with something. It gets them all down to a single point, and then we slam it into us with the slime block launcher. Like so. And with 32... like, we're able to get up to Y800 almost here, which is pretty crazy. And, you know, breeze rods, you get 4 for 1. So it's not that expensive, really, to run these. I'll show you the top view of it here, just in case you're trying to copy it and you want to see the repeater timings. There's also a torch on the back of the note block there for the clock. From the power source here, it goes up to the piston. We use an observer to go left and then up. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. So anyways, the bare basics, the main thing you need to understand in case you're trying to make your own of these is you get the wind charge in the dispenser there. With a distance of 4 and a repeater timing of 3, you can actually catch them. Just like that. But if you do it like this, sometimes it will actually collide with the piston. It's not perfect. So that's why I'm catching it on the retraction. But yeah, basically you set up a clock that does this for you, so you don't have to press the button every time. And when they're like this, you can also punch them to give them momentum again. But what surprised me is like if you wind charge them, they don't go, which I thought would have blown them away. But no, it doesn't affect them at all. There, we saw it. It happened. I'm not crazy. Yeah, it happened again. So it does happen every once in a while where one will explode. And that's really bad if you're trying to do anything with precise amounts of these things. Like if you're trying to go a certain distance, it's hard to figure that out if the odd one gets destroyed like that. So that's why I kind of like this retraction method a little bit more. Yeah, so once you get the wind charge frozen in place, it becomes pretty easy to move it around. Like basically anytime you extend the piston, it will push it over a block. It also lines it up on that axis. So we can make it go between blocks here, just sending it back and forth basically. Or we can push it up or down or whatever and get it into the position we want. This also works with fire charges and probably other things too. I'm guessing gas balls, probably the dragon's breath thing. I don't know what you would use that for, but we're not going to focus on that today. But yeah, you can freeze those too, as well. I was curious, we're getting into the research part of this now, some stuff I don't know. Can we make those move with TNT explosions? Because the wind charge blast didn't move them. Oh, that is not what I would have expected. Can we move these with water? I'm pretty sure you could. Yeah, so that'll get them moving again too. So we're at 0.75 on the Y coordinate now. Oh, that looks pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, it is even higher. 930 with 32 wind charges. We'll get into position. We'll hit the button with the 32 wind charges and 1,040. So it is higher again. I think eventually we're going to get so high here that the wind charges will hit the side of the block instead of us, and then it's not going to be good. But not that time. I think we're going higher. 1,060. All right, we're at 0.25. Another 32. It still hit us. Oh, but now it's way lower. 600 only. Oh, yeah. Okay, I figured something out. That's 1,240 with 32. Okay, so we're at 0.5, which is like standing on a slab. So we want that to hit the side of the slab and us be overhanging that slab a little bit so that the center of our body lines up with the center of the wind charge, I think, for best results here. So let's see if we can go up to 1,200 again. Yep. Okay, we got it figured out. So the quick summary of all that is basically standing on a block works pretty good with this. You can get slightly better results if you're on a double snow slab, or even being on carpet would help a little bit, I would think. But on the block, you're getting nearly perfect results if it hits you in the side. But if you want to try to get a little bit more height out of it, you want it to hit something and then sneak under your feet. So if you're standing on a slab, that seems to produce pretty much the best results. 64, but let's see what happens here. Do we go up to 2,500? Oh, 26, 27? That's a little more than I expected. Okay. But roughly, we can conclude that doubling the wind charges basically doubles the height. All right, very good. So we got a pretty good grasp on going vertical now, but what I'm really interested in is the horizontal. How can we use this to go sideways in our world? So we got another 32 loaded in there, ready to go. And we're going to switch this up. This is actually one of the things I played around with the most in creative because I really wanted it to work. And to be honest, I never really found anything too great with it. So let's see, how do we do this? So I'm gonna put a block here. Let's get rid of this. So I'm gonna line up into the corner here, and what I found is, like, if you want to go really horizontal and not much vertical, stand on a dried gas. It works pretty good. Or 6 snow layers. We're going to remove this, and now the wind charge is going to explode somewhere around here, like almost at our eye level. And it should send us a few blocks horizontal here. Okay, it went diagonal for some reason. Huh. Oh, I saw it. Okay, we flew over the block we were next to. I'm pretty sure. This isn't high enough over here. 32 again. Yeah, this time we went a little bit more straight, but you can see we didn't go very far. The way friction works in this game, players have very high horizontal friction and lower vertical friction. So that means, like, a lot of times if you get exploded very powerfully by something, you go like whoop, and then you like drop. And that's the same for players, same for mobs. But it doesn't apply that way for other things in the game. Like, for example, maybe if we're riding a boat. Like, as things got added to Minecraft, they didn't all use the same physics. Some things have higher friction than other things, and it leads to a lot of quirky interactions with each other. So much like we did with our player, we're going to sneak the wind charges underneath the boat right in its center, hopefully. And we know when we did 32, it would launch us up to about 1240. So let's see what the boat does. 150. And then it kind of crashed out, right? I think it gets confused and thinks you're standing on the boat or something instead of riding it. I'm not really sure. And then it just drops. But you can get around that by riding a mob that's riding a boat. So we're going to try that next, just to show you. Again, we're doing 32. Much lower friction. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm actually getting a little scared we went too high here. Oh no, it's settling down. It's settling down. Okay, I got worried. With 6,000. That's 32 wind charges. 8,000. Oh my goodness, we're still going. 9,000. That's way more than I expected. Oh, 10,000. Yeah, we reached 10,000. Okay, I'm ready to go back down, please. Oh my goodness, we're going down. We're going down, everybody. We're gonna go down really quickly here, but it's gonna take some time. 8,000. Oh, we lost our color. Yeah, we're flashing it out of existence here. Oh, we just disappeared. I think we're... Oh, look at what the boat's doing. It is like... It is teleporting down and up over and over. Okay, we're at cloud level and bam! That is a pretty good launch for 32. So I'm wondering if we can use that to launch sideways. Oh yeah, and a little trick for moving mobs around. If you don't know this, you can combine wind charges with the boat leading. And you get a nice little launch. You don't have to really worry about them dying either. And you can like launch up cliffs that way, which is really nice. And also, I think, fly with your wings when you do that, and then pull them. You just can't use rockets, right? Well, I tell you what, easiest thing for us to try is let's put the boat like right on the block here, and then the wind charge will blow up right next to it. I think we're ready here. Oh, hey, not too bad. But did you see that? Our horizontal friction was very high, and we just like froze at a certain point there. We only traveled like 100 blocks. Yeah, so the boat is really good at going vertical, but again, not really so good at the horizontal. Like, we did go probably twice as far as the player got launched, so it's better, but it's still very high friction. So let's explore some more. Let's look at some other things. Minecarts. I really don't know much about how these get launched. Oh yeah, I was trying this. It does catch them, actually. So there might be a way to make some like snake fireworks, like where they explode one after another. Some other time I'll play with that. Anyways, wind charges. Let's just put a few in here. I don't think we're gonna do a full launch. I just want to see like what it does, because I have no clue. I kind of think it stays on the rail, right? It's like stuck to the rail. Button over here. Okay, so I kind of had that problem with the boat as well. Like if you just like get it side by side, it will hit the entity. The projectiles of the wind charges broke it because they are shooting it, right? Maybe let's try a chest first. So that's a little bit smaller than a block. And you see we pushed it over just a little bit. Let's try again with a few more wind charges. It might not have had enough to break it. Yeah, that was the problem. Okay. So chest is not small enough. Maybe let's try happy gas next. I think that's smaller than a chest. Yeah, I didn't see any wobble that time, so the happy gas might be the sweet spot. It didn't look like it boosted very much, though, so I'm not expecting much out of this. But we'll do a proper test, 32 wind charges. Let's see how far it'll boost it along the rail here. I also saw no vertical lift, right? It pushed it, basically, very weakly. Oh, that's not how I launch. Over here. It got a little bit of boost. Not very much, though. So basically, my goal right now is just to figure out how the wind charges interact with different things in the game, and also the ideal conditions to do what I'm trying to do here. And then once I have a good understanding, a good general knowledge, I'm hoping it'll allow me to figure out some cool stuff. But I'm not quite there yet. Okay, so we'll do that. Let's try launch it without any rails. Let's see if it actually gets any vertical heights, because I'm not sure what it's going to do here. No rider. 32 wind charges. Oh, it does go up. Okay, so the rail is holding it down. Do you remember when the happy gas came out? I think I spent at least 4 hours trying to figure out how to launch these guys in the air, and I never figured anything out. I think we got the answer now, though. Shall we hop on? We got it all charged up. Hit the button. Just like that. We're just going to take a quick little creative mode detour here. I had an idea, but it's extremely destructive and it might not pan out. But I got to see it. Wind charges, TNT minecarts. So the idea is you could set up like the autocrafter stuff, right? Dispenser, drop it on a rail. So it'll place a bunch of TNT minecarts in one spot. Here we go. I don't even know. It made a straight line up. I wonder if they ran into each other as they were flying. That was a weird result. Oh, some are still coming down. Okay. Might just be one. Just one made it all the way up. Here's what I think happened there. So let's pretend this moss block is our stack of TNT minecarts that we launched at, let's say, 5 blocks per tick. So it's going to go through the stack of minecarts one at a time, even though it's all happening in the same frame. And the first one will get moved up 5 blocks to there. Then it'll go to the second one, and it'll try to move it up 5 blocks as well. But it will collide with the previous one, and then it places it below it. And then it goes to the next one, and then it places it below it, and the next one. And then it gets down to the ground level, and everything explodes, and it made the big crater. There are so many things I want to try out, but we are really flying through our time here. So let's focus a little bit more on the exciting stuff. The Enderpearls are next here, and I'm very excited about these. Some of you might remember many years ago, it was, I believe, Seth Bling, actually, that made the first Enderpearl TNT cannon. And it worked really well. Like, it launched the pearl so far. I remember at the time it was almost shocking because we were trying to make player launchers using TNT for the longest time, and you always did the whoop whoop trajectory, and it was like always disappointing. But the Enderpearls, they don't do that, right? They almost fly perfectly straight because they have low friction. So it's a low friction way of moving the player around. And if we combine that with our wind charges, it's going to be pretty crazy, I think. So, let's see. Where do we want to put it? I think maybe around, I don't know. This is a very imprecise test to begin with. So I think the wind charge is going to explode somewhere around here, right? And we want it to launch it out. And we try to leave enough clearance here where it won't hit anything. And then the water, the bubble column makes it go up. The downward flowing water makes it go down. And it kind of stabilizes it a little bit in the middle. And let's load her up with some wind charges. Okay, I think we're good to go. First launch. I barely saw it even. It was like a speck in the distance. Oh, I might load a lot of chunks here. Oh, it still hasn't landed? Okay, we're going far. We're going really far. What? I hear my computer purring. It's loading, generating new chunks, I think. Okay, we should have done a smaller test to begin with, maybe. Where are we? Okay, we are at... Oh, it's not too bad. We went maybe 1,500 blocks. Isn't that crazy, though? Like, because the Enderpearls load chunks as well, you can shoot it as far as you want. And I think there's some big potential here. Imagine making, like, a 360 cannon where you can choose your angle and choose your power level. Oh, that would be so cool. Go anywhere in your world, pretty much. Yeah, we're going the right way here. Yeah, I don't recognize any of this. I never come out to these lands. Oh, there's our mob farm. Okay, so this is by the stronghold. I'm just running it through my head right now, like how do we go about doing it? And honestly, it might not be that hard because this machine, it's pretty precise already. It gets the charges to a point and we don't lose any when we're shooting them out, right? So we can rely on it. Power level shouldn't be that hard to do because all we got to do is hook up like a timer to this. And depending on how long we power it for, it will determine how many wind charges get launched. We could have like pre-programmed destinations where maybe you have 5 items in a hopper clock at one destination. Oh, it's it's empty. I'm poor. I'm actually running out of wind charges, which I didn't think was going to happen. But yeah, it shot out, what was it, 6? So we could reliably shoot out 6 every time we activated this hopper clock, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? One problem with this machine is one does get left in the chamber if you do this. So maybe when we go to launch it, we should activate this piston again. Anyway, so that would cover power level. Angle is the tricky one. And because we ram the wind charges into a block like this, we could never make the Enderpearl go forward or like any of these directions. So I think we would almost need one of these in each quadrant, like build 4 of these and have it cover like this range of angles where it goes basically between these degrees, right? Oh, snappers, I might have just had a big idea here. So depending on where the Enderpearl is in the water, it makes a big difference on where we're going to get launched. Like the farther away from the wind burst, the less power it's going to have. And also like the degrees of angle from the wind burst is going to affect the degrees of angles it flies, right? So to be able to precisely control that is going to be challenging. If we use pistons, they move Enderpearls a full block. I think at best we're only going to be able to line it up on the edges or the corners or something. And pistons will be very complicated, very bulky. So I was trying to think of other ways we could like tell the Enderpearl where we want it in this water with a lot of control, and it might not be that hard. So let's just double check this. So I want the downward flowing water just to stabilize it again. So I think all we got to do is have water go into here. Oh, but it does that. But you see how slowly it's moving? Okay, so maybe we use a piston. Yeah, it's moving. This is so cool. It moves just a little bit every time. That's exactly what we want. So we can control 2 axes of movement. And depending on how long we power it for, will determine where it ends up when we go for the launch, right? So ideally we want to start in the corner here, like right in the corner. And then, you know, we have 2 different inputs for the X and Z coordinate. Depending on how long these are retracted for, will determine where the pearl ends up in the water at the time of launch. And then once we got it lined up where we want it, I think we use another piston to like move the soul sand underneath. And then the pearl will start going down. We drop it into the chamber where the wind charges shoot, and it'll be lined up. Okay, so fast forward a few hours. I've been tinkering with the idea, finding a few different ways to simplify it and improve it and compact it. And This is it. It's pretty small actually for what it does. I'm very happy with this, and yeah, it's incredible. It's got one major flaw, which we'll get to in just a second. But first, I just wanted to show you the setup for it, and then we'll go over some demonstrations, and then we'll talk about the issue. So this is it. This is the controls for moving it on the X and Z coordinates, right? This makes two sticky pistons pull the trap doors down, and then the water's free to flow into that space. I'm showing you this before we put the water in, just so it's a little clearer, but it's time to put the water in. So what we're doing is we're using the trap doors to hold the water in place. We want solid blocks over the soul sand, so we get the bubble columns. That'll hold the Enderpearl up, but you can see when we make the piston go down, the water flows that way, and then the rim of trapdoors just keeps it from flowing everywhere. Same with above here. We have another rim of trapdoors just to hold it in place, because we're going to take some of this water and fill up the 2x2 above as well. If I can. I think we just put it... Yeah, this is working. Okay. I built it in creative, so it's a little different building in survival now. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Okay, so now we go up the layer. We got another holding area here for water. We want to put it right above the central column. So we have to pick like one of the quadrants to make our main spot. So this is it. And then the iron trapdoor is above that, and then the slime block is above that. So it all lines up here. But we get a little bit of flowing water this way, and then we're going to go up to the Enderpearl column. This is where we actually load in Enderpearls. This goes up to, I believe, the pistons. Yes. Okay. So how should we do this? I actually need an extra water too. So I'm going to fill my bucket. Yoink. Go up one more, and then we'll break this down. So this will make another bubble column that will hold our Enderpearls. Am I trapped in here? I might be. Oh dear. Let's build out a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Okay, and then we're gonna put one more water at the top here. We got the water in, and you can see I added some ladders there and some extra glass just so I have something to walk on as I'm showing this off, because it's a little hard to use right now. Ideally, like, we need to set up some controls to this and run wires up to all the different things we need to control. But for now, I'm just showing you kind of the manual way of doing everything. So this is where the wind charges go. You know how the clock works. Oh, I redesigned, or not redesigned, I designed a new one that shoots the wind charges downward. And that was how we were able to compact a lot of this and make it a lot better, is having a downward shooter instead of a sideways one. Yeah, it's pretty similar, but it's a little different. And anyways, what we're going to do is demonstrate the Enderpearl loader. So you've probably seen these before. This is not my design, but basically you load in the Enderpearls like so, and then you push them against the sea pickles. Very high-tech stuff here. The highest of tech sea pickles. So you see they're all in a line now. So when we push them on the other axis, they're going to go into this pressure plate. That closes a trap door and stops any more from going through. So it only allows the first one to get through. And this way we can precisely control one at a time, like let one out. And then we have a big reservoir for however many launches we want to do before we refill it. So that drops it down in the corner and ends up in our holding area down here. So this is like 0.0. This is like the starting position of our Enderpearl. Then with the controls, we can fine tune it. Oh, and the cool thing about this, you know how the water's flowing, this is a really important trick to this actually. You know how it's flowing towards the center? So if we didn't have that, it would land within just one of those blocks and not between all four of them. And we need it to be in the center of all four of them so we can control it from all four sides with the water. So because of that, we can make it go this way, for example. And the longer we power it, the more it will go that way. And then if we want to make it go this way, we can. So now it's going to shoot kind of towards our snowflake, and it's ready to go. We'll add a button over there. That's where we need to power the wind charge launcher. Okay, so we got our pearl in position. So then we would power this for however many charges we wanted to launch, like our power level. And then we send it another signal to shoot them downward. And you see the pearl flies out towards the snowflake. Aha! So that's like the bare bones demonstration of it. Okay, you shift and you click. You shift and click. I do not like this stuff. How does it work? Oh, now, okay, so I right click now. This is what's confusing about it, because if you right click like this, it goes sideways, right? So you got to shift click, but then if you shift click again, it goes sideways. And it's like, make up your mind. If I right click now it goes up. Okay, I understand. So scaffolding is a little special because I think some entities, or maybe it's all entities, will ignore it when they're below it, but then they see it as solid when they're above it. So can we throw enderpearls through this? Oh, we can. Okay, so we might want to use this for wiring. So that way we won't have to worry about the enderpearl accidentally hitting our wiring lines. It'll be a true 360 cannon. And there's actually a couple ways we could do this. One way is just to run wire up scaffolding like this. And the advantage of that is the wire will be instant pretty much. The other method though is to just run a column of scaffolding up and give it an update. So if you have it resting on a trap door, when the trapdoor opens, you notice how it gets the extra bit underneath. So the trapdoor no longer supports it, and instead, it needs to be supported by the one over here. If that's not there, the whole thing just breaks. So this holds it up instead. And when it gets that update, it sends it up the column. So when this trapdoor opens, it sends it to this scaffolding and it plays the note block, and then it goes all the way up to here and plays that one as well. And you'll notice they don't play at the exact same time. I think it happens every game tick. It'll go to the next one, then the next one. It does it on the open and on the close, unless you give it a fast pulse. So we got a monostable over here to demonstrate. So one tick on the repeater. It's too quick for it to even change. It doesn't register at all. At 2 ticks though, it opens and closes so fast that you only get 1 pulse through the observer. And if you want to get a double pulse, then you can extend this to 3 or more. And the more you do it, then it just adds a bit more delay between the pulses. Aha. So that's probably the way we'll do it. It's slower, but it'll look cleaner. We're getting closer, but there's definitely a lot to this. I'm at the settings tweaking part of this now. So we got a hopper clock that will control how many wind charges get launched. And it sends the signal up through the scaffolding. And it switches a lamp. When the lamp's off, it releases wind charges. When it's on, it stops. And when it turns back on, it also will tell the thing to fire the wind charges. So let's head on up here just to look at that. So yeah, it goes to the lock on the clock. Lock on the clock. And then it goes off this way to the launcher mechanic. And then it also splits down from that block there. There's some repeaters that connect to it and snake downwards to this piston, which will send out another enderpearl. I think it's releasing the enderpearl at a fine time. Yeah, okay. That released the second one. We're going to teleport. Yep. All is good. Now, you might have noticed a piece of soul sand moved up there as well. So there's a sneaky little piston hidden in the middle here underneath the main column that the wind charges get shot down. Because we want this block to extend up a block so the wind charge will explode a lot closer to the enderpearl. And then when it goes back down, because we have 3 water sources surrounding it, it creates the 4th one. And it's not a problem. But that needs to go up right before the wind charge hits so that the enderpearl doesn't drop. Because once it goes up, you no longer have the bubble column, right? So it has to happen like right at the perfect time. And I think we need to shorten this. And this is going to be very, very tedious to tinker. There's a lot of trial and error because I don't know what I'm doing. Just kind of watching it here. So it happened too soon that time. Okay, I think we got the timing figured out here. It's very confusing because this timing relies also on the scaffolding timing that we added in here. So I had to reconfigure everything. And yeah, every 2 scaffolding is 1 repeater tick, I think. So if we add or remove any of them, we have to switch this up as well. Yeah, anyways, I think we're calling this power mode when the soul sand goes up, just to make it easier to talk about. So this is not required. Power mode is not required for this to work, but if we don't have power mode, the wind charges will shoot down the column and collide on the soul sand down here. And by moving it up a block, it makes this way more efficient because the wind charges explode closer to the Enderpearl. And they also will make the Enderpearl travel more horizontal because they're more at the height of the Enderpearl. And that means less time for the Enderpearl to like go up and go down. It's more like straight across in the sky. So it's just like a really nice feature. And maybe we'll demonstrate with and without power mode. So with power mode, we'll just hit the buttons here. This gives it a perfect 1 second timing on the coordinate selection. And then we're just going to do 3 wind charges, I think. Boom. So this is with power mode. Do it again. Set our coordinates. This time I'll break that so power mode's not active. And then we are good to go here. And you see how much more vertical that is? And we landed here. Where did we land before? I have no idea. Was it down over here? Oh yeah, over here. So we didn't go as far and it took longer for it to land without power mode. In a perfect situation, I would love to be able to give it the exact same coordinates and power level or distance, and it will take us to that exact spot every time. To do that requires a lot of precision. And actually, the wind charge launcher has a lot of precision. I found out the coordinate system actually has a lot of precision as well. It's like perfect. If you give it the same input timings and everything, it pretty much makes a straight line perfectly down that coordinate, like that degree you select, which is perfect. The problem is actually the wobble effect of the Enderpearl. That little bouncing effect as it sits on the bubble column, it's actually randomly changing its height and momentum a little bit. And there's actually a big difference between like the best case and worst case of that by, I think, up to like 30% distance changes. So it'll average out like within 15% probably, but yeah, it's kind of a problem. At least with the shorter range tests. I haven't done many long range tests, so maybe it's not as big of an issue with those. But yeah, let's do a couple tests just to show you what I'm talking about. So we'll give it the exact same inputs on the degree, right? And we'll give it the exact same distance, same amount of wind charges. We'll do a little bit of a stronger shot this time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See how horizontal that was with the power mode? I love power mode. I'm always going to use power mode. All right, we ended up over here with 11 wind charges. Okay, so ideally we want to land on that frog light. We landed over here. Where's the frog light? I think it went further. Yeah, it's over there. So if we make a line between the two, though, it did shift a little, didn't it? It's a little to the right. This one's a little to the left, maybe. Let's do a few more and see what kind of line we make. Okay, here we go. Oh, we went way further. We're in the desert. What? Okay, here we go again. All right. Yep, right between the 2 points. Okay, it's the last one we're gonna do. Then we'll check out how they line up. On the roof. All right, so yeah, there is more wobble than I thought. When I was testing it in creative, it wasn't this much. Huh. But generally, we have a bit of a line forming, right? Especially like these 3 points are very much in line. This one not so much, and this one's a little off too. And the big problem, though, as you can see, is the distances are changing quite a bit, just depending on where that Enderpearl is in the wobble. So what's the best way of solving that problem? Well, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I'm not like an alignment expert. I know there's a lot of tricks to aligning things in this game, and I'm not really the one to ask about it. I'm just doing the best I can here and slowly figuring out new things as I go. But my current best idea is to maybe separate the angle selection system and the wind charge launching area. So have them as two separate chambers, because right now they're kind of combined. So then we might make a way of removing the soul sand after the angle is selected, drop it down, and then try drop it on a bed of pistons that push upward just before the wind charge hits. And if we can make the pearl get pushed up, it'll reset its vertical momentum and also get it in the perfect vertical position every time. And that'll kind of cut down on the wobble issue. If it works. I don't know if that works. I have to do a lot of testing. We're not going to do it today. I'm just thinking out loud. And if you guys have ideas on a better way of doing it, please let me know. And it would be cool if we could get this working like super accurate. The other really cool thing we can do with this is surround it with nether portals. And actually, we could make a switch even for the nether portals to turn them on and off. And then we can choose between teleporting in our overworld, or we can go on the nether ceiling as long as we're above Y128. And we build the corresponding portals on our nether roof, right? But yeah, then we can go 8 times farther with the same amount of wind charges and stuff. Oh yeah, and if you do end up playing around with this idea, you probably want to build the entire thing within a chunk. It just simplifies it a lot because the Enderpearl loads the chunk, and you don't have to worry about some things being in it and some things being out of it and all that stuff. So yeah, good little tip there too. There's actually one more thing. I kind of got sidetracked with that, but there's another low friction way of moving your player, and that's with the elytra wings. You might have seen those wind charge tunnels people have been building. I wanted to kind of just show off that idea at least, and we don't have time to experiment with it today, but it's one of the more fun things as well. So what we can do is, I think, yeah, something like this will work, I think. If we go into fly mode and hover on the bubble column, I need someone to press the button for me. I don't know how to do it without moving. Okay, let's go. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. So easy to do, too. So that's another area I'm going to be having a lot of fun with, I think. But we got to wrap it up for today. Build trial tunnel and mob killing chambers for number 3. Number 4. Wah, wah, wah. It's all out of whack. Okay, so I think building this on chunk borders is a little bit of a problem. Because number 4 got messed up. 1, 2, and 3 are still fine. But I think part of it the machine can unload and some of it stays active and then it all goes out of order. So I got to be careful about that and maybe do something to fix it. Anyways, let's get to the comment of today. It's better I found out now than like when I fill it all up and then it's like, oh boy, it all gets messed up. That's why I wanted to leave it running when I wasn't here. Okay, so comment of the day, he says, thank you for showing us a glimpse of the endless storage system. The videos where you made it are some of my favorites. I would love to see you do more work there. Yeah, this is a project, everybody. This is a huge project. I got a little burnt out on it. Like, I worked on it for many episodes in a row. And then after we got it like bare bones functioning, I just had to take a break from it. So if you've been watching Hermitcraft, you might have saw I actually figured out version 3 of the Ender Chest system, and all of this is currently set to version 2. So we're gonna want to update that, and that's a big overhaul. But I've been looking at it, trying to figure out like what we need to do, and we can definitely get there. The big thing is we need shulker shells. We need thousands of shulker boxes in order to fill this up initially, just to get it running properly. So I'm currently debating with myself if I should try to update the shulker reactor farm we built, make that better, or should I just copy someone else's shulker farm because I know it'll be good. Because if I make my own, there's a risk it's going to be trash. And yeah, then we're back to the problem again. The problem though, I don't really like to copy other people's stuff. Like if I copy someone's farm, I feel like, why are you watching me? You should watch someone else. Watch them make the farm. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be original as much as I can, and it feels like a cop-out almost to just copy someone. So we're testing out an idea here for the endless storage room. One of the big issues with this is when I put stuff into the automatic sorting, it goes to fill up a shulker box, and we don't get that shulker box until it's totally full. So a lot of our things are like partially filled shulker boxes that I can't access, and it's kind of a big problem. So we're adding some manual overrides down here where we can force it to give us the box even if it's not totally full. 16 times 27 times 20. 8,640 shulker boxes we need just for this project alone. Plus we need them for the enchanting system. You remember that project? I never filled that one up with shulker boxes, so it's not functional currently. And if we ever want to do the pixel display project with the shulker boxes, that was going to take another few thousand as well. But you can see those dispensers there. There's supposed to be a shulker box in front of each dispenser, and the system has none in currently. And it takes 9 slots to fill the dispenser, plus 5 for that hopper, and then another 5 for that, plus the 1, so it's 20 for each item. I don't think this works either, right? Like, we can't put dud items in. Yeah, because then it'll just fail most of the time. It doesn't, like, pick the only one that works. Yeah, it'll just randomly pick one, and it'll fail most of the time. So we kind of do need 20 for each one. So the issue is currently a lot of our items are trapped. We have this hopper trying to place them into a shulker box that doesn't exist. So until we get one there, they're just like getting backlogged into the large chest here, and then it goes up to the filter. Just to demonstrate what we just added though, assuming we did have some shulker boxes available, we can trigger the line, or each one individually. That should place the shulker box. Yeah, so now it's going to start filling, and it won't break that and deliver it to us until it's totally full normally. But now, like, if we want to check if there's any available, we can just pulse this again, and it'll break it and send it down to here. So we don't have to wait for it to totally fill up anymore. And we can actually access our stuff. But as always, thank you all very much for watching. I'm going to be playing with wind charges a lot more in the future. And I hope you have yourselves a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.